All right. Welcome back to episode 66 of the Idols to Rivals podcast. I'm your host, Jack. Again, 66 episodes. Every time I hear that number and it just keeps going, it gets crazy. The goal is obviously get to 100, 1,000, whatever it may be. I think Joe Rogan's at like 2,000 at this point. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. This is the Idols to Rivals podcast. There's a video version of it posted every Thursday morning. That is on YouTube if you just search Idols to Rivals. There's also a Spotify version and an Apple Music version, Android as well. If you have an Android, I don't know anyone that listens to podcasts on Androids, but we have a special guest here and a little bit of a backstory. I've known this guy for pretty much my whole life that I can recall, played sports together forever, lived around each other for quite a while, and was one of the main reasons I actually moved down to South Florida. And kind of crazy how after being apart for, 10 years, spend a spring break with him for a week where he was going to school the whole time. And then next thing you know, 3 years later, I moved down within 20 miles of him. So that guest is Shane. And so I'll let him introduce himself and kind of tell his side of the story.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, Jack. It's pretty wild, honestly. The relationship that we have and how it's kind of come full circle. You being in South Florida now too. But yeah, I came down to South Florida in about 2015, played lacrosse at Lynn University. Really haven't had a reason to leave since. So down here, I've done a couple internships in the media world. Did an internship at ESPN West Palm, did a couple radio shows at FAU, as well as some sports podcasting at Lynn as well. So really excited to get into it and appreciate you having me.
Of course. And so I actually didn't know, I knew there was an ESPN connection, but how did you kind of get hooked up with, the biggest brand in sports, if we're being honest?
Yeah, so ESPN West Palm, it's called Good Karma Brand. So it's an affiliate. They just do the digital marketing side for ESPN. But I got connected with that through Lynn University. Really just went to like a career day there. They were there. Got introduced to a couple people there, followed up with them. Did another internship at the Collegiate League of the Palm Beaches, which is where the Nationals and Astros do spring training. So really kind of built a resume there to be able to eventually leverage that to get that internship at ESPN West Palm, and got it and had a great time. Got asked back for a second internship. Ultimately just kind of went a different route after that.
Gotcha. So were you in kind of the West Palm? So it was an affiliate. So they did the marketing for, marketing can kind of confuse me. Are you given, images, videos, whatever it may be, ads, and then you distribute them? Is that kind of how that operates?
So they do the digital marketing for them. So it's all like geo-targeting as well. So like, if you're watching ESPN, right, and you're getting like a local car commercial or any type of like commercial that's kind of like in your area, like that's set up through them, and they're the affiliate that does that. But they also have their independent radio show, and a ton of other things that they do out of that office. And that's kind of like how they're able to keep the ESPN brand. But yeah, they have their own radio show on 107.3 as well. And that's where I kind of helped out on some sides of that. And then they also helped do the broadcasting for like FAU football on the air and whatnot. And that was kind of like the side that I was in terms of the production team, of like cutting radio copy, doing like live like radio cuts for like any ads that they had, and really setting that up.
Gotcha. And so you have also the FAU connection. And so you said were you ever on like the broadcasting of like the games, or was it kind of after the fact, or how did that kind of play out?
No, so I have two connections with FAU actually. So like we were doing like on the ESPN side of things, I was like we were cutting the game, so like we'd have them doing the live broadcast like on 107.3 the radio, and like we would be cutting like the live feed of that on air and like pretty much putting that out. And then obviously you got to cut to commercial break and whatnot, so people like pay for those sponsored ads to be in there, and so you're running those ads for those companies, and then like cutting whatever, like say there was like a big play in the first half, right? So you have to like mark that, just like the full production side of things. And that were also interns during that time. And so we actually started a radio show at FAU. Two of those kids went to FAU, and so they got connected within the radio center there. And we actually started our own sports radio show, which we did for a couple months. It was super fun.
Interesting. And so the two other kids that you were doing it with, they were at FAU at the time?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's something that I think is so badass, especially for a college. Yeah. Obviously we'll talk about pros in college here in a minute, but dude, being at a college is just so different, especially being involved even in the sports world, whether it be, I had somebody I knew that went to Auburn, and they were close with, Jared Stidham, a couple of the other guys. I can't remember the running back's name because, fuck Auburn. But anyway, when you're whoever was with Stidham, who actually ended up marrying someone I grew up with forever, which is, just a small world. But, being surrounded by that, or, just being around that, whether it be in some, if you're filming the games, if you're working, because a lot of that stuff, students, have a broadcast, being involved in sports on like a different level than just spectating in college is just, I think, one of the most badass things in the entire world. Oh, and it looks like we froze out a little bit. There we go. Okay, I got you back. My thing is pausing, but yeah, no, that's super cool. I didn't realize that you had that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Like that.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I was gonna say it was super cool. I mean, we were broadcasting to like 2 people, so they were tuning in, and it was cool. It was a good experience, and really just being able to like be in front of a mic like that and get that experience of like doing something through a radio station and having that authenticity of it was cool. And I did the same thing at Lynn as well, which was nice. Even less viewers, probably had 1 there, but still.
Hey, who gives a fuck? The point is, it's shit. But so were you in a full setup, like a full studio? Like you have the mics hanging down? Oh, see, that's
full setup. So it's sick.
Oh, that's the fucking dream. But kind of going forward with the sports, we attended a game, and actually, no, let's go through college football real quick, just because I got to get the monkey off my back. So I have to apologize to the Crimson Tide and the Crimson Tide Nation. As an alumni, my actions were inexcusable. I left the bar that I was at up 21-3, and we all know how the game turned out. Almost lost it because I got a little too cocky and forgot to remember my roots. And when I tell you I was surrounded by gator chops the entire time, I regret my decision. And I thank God and Saban that we did not lose that game, because that was the closest game I've watched in a while. Even with, I was thinking about the national title game. That wasn't even like, that was a quarter, and I was like, all right, well, let's get after it. We're done with the game. And that was the closest game I've seen in a while, especially being in South Florida. That sucks ass to be in that situation. Almost went to that game if I had the excess funds. But yeah, that was not a good look. I don't know what your takeaways from college football of week 3 were, but Alabama kind of scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This weekend was kind of not necessarily watching as much college football as much as enjoying the games at the place. But I did watch the Bama UF game, and I don't know, the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, I had UF plus 17, so I was kind of okay with the comeback at the end. But Bryce Young is still Heisman. I think he's the #1 Heisman candidate in the country. So
I think the thing that I've never seen, and of course everyone's gonna be like, you're just gassing up an Alabama player. If somebody else did it, I'd compliment them too. But when he has like a defensive end running like behind his perimeter, where you think it's like your blind spot, and he takes those 2 steps forward without turning his head, that I've never seen any. Like people say pocket awareness. I've never just that awareness.
Yeah,
exactly. I've never noticed it before until he's done it.
Yeah, and like that's a good UF team. Like they're a good team. So, and they were able to put them away. So I don't know. I think I don't know who's going to beat Alabama the rest of the year.
Oh, we got a couple. Dude, Ole Miss is weirdly coming out of nowhere being good.
Yeah. Lane train, baby.
Is Lane Kiffin still there? I thought he moved on. He's been hopping teams
head
like
coach.
Crazy.
He's the head coach.
Didn't he come down here for a little bit?
He was at FAU for a while. Yeah.
Was it FAU? I thought it was USF for some reason. But
Yeah. So yeah, he was at FAU, and actually, when I was at ESPN West Palm, we did the radio show for Lane Kiffin. Got to meet him a couple times. Stand up, dude.
and he loves his college girls. That's
Whoa.
I love Lane Kiffin. I absolutely love him, dude. I don't know. Hey, allegedly,
Yeah.
allegedly.
But no, it's definitely confirmed.
But definitely happened.
Yeah, definitely a fact.
But FAU and Ole Miss are Lane Kiffin. If you could print Lane Kiffin out
in a nutshell, absolutely. Yeah.
I actually think Matt Corral. Now that we're talking about Ole Miss a little bit, I think Matt Corral is in the high is betting wise.
It's 1 and 2. I think it's Bryce Young and then him, because I just have a feeling. I mean, I don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to, like, it always ends up how the team does, and I don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to keep this up. But I mean, we'll see. But Matt Corral has also had himself hell of a year.
Yeah, and he was, and I don't even want to say, I'm not even going to bring it up. I'll bring it up at the end of the season, but I thought he was looking good last year. Like I had that gut feeling of like, damn, he's actually kind of playing especially against Ole Miss. I never say that. I couldn't even name one person on Ole Miss besides Matt Corral at the moment. Don't they have a wideout, a good wideout?
I think they have a running back, Loki. I think his name is Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Or something like Snoop something. Like he's a dog. I just remember in week 1, he just absolutely ran through somebody.
That's, if you got a name like that, you got to be just fucking balls to the wall.
You gotta be a dog.
Funny story about funny names. And Sean, who is not on this episode, and don't freak out, everybody, he'll be back. But I was talking about, and this story is horrible for me, but match with somebody on Tinder, right? Send a message, or it might have been an Instagram DM. I can't remember, but sure enough, this was 3 months ago. And I'm like, all right, well, just got left on scene. And she pops up on my Instagram feed, and she's sitting on a charger in a gas station. I'm like, damn, and it looks like a football player sitting next with her. And I mean, how is every football player not taking a picture sitting on the hood of a charger in a gas station at night? and so I come to find out it's an Auburn player. And I'm like, damn, this guy looks familiar. And I'm talking to Sean about it. I'm like, dude, I got ghosted for an Auburn cornerback. And I'm like, yeah, his name's like fucking Smoke Tuesday. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you wouldn't believe it. It's the craziest name. And Sean's like, what are you talking about? I was like, his name is Smoke, last name Tuesday. And I go on for this for like 30 minutes. And he finally Googles it. He goes, hey, dumbass, it's Smoke Monday. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was I was close enough. I was close enough. I was a weekday off, which I never had. But yeah, got absolutely.
Hell of a name, though. That has to be in the Hall of Fame of absolutely absurd football names.
Hall of Fame. Absolutely Hall of Fame.
Oh, and amazing.
Yeah, absolutely botched that operation. But I just had to. So I got ghosted for that guy, which I get it. He's probably going, in the NFL. So
what does he have that you don't?
You know what? Now that I think about it,
let's not get into that, actually. You know what? Let's just not get into that.
Anyway, so yeah, college football. And so you're Iowa, right?
Yeah, big Hawkeye fan. Doing well, undefeated.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't you guys ranked top 10?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I've always liked Iowa.
Huge. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, tight end U. Some would say DBU, but definitely not.
Who the fuck says DBU for Iowa?
We have a lot of DBs in the NFL. That's the only reason I said that.
I couldn't.
Offensive line and tight end U.
I'll give you tight end.
Kevin King.
I'll give you
Jackson.
O-line.
Tight ends as well.
Yes, tight ends, O-line. I'll give you that. Although Notre Dame kind of prints them out left and right.
What? Offensive
O-line.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Notre Dame. Yeah, I'd agree. But
I mean,
I would say that I can't name a school that puts out better tight ends than Iowa.
No, facts. 100% agree. The problem is I would like them a lot more if they didn't look like the Steelers every time I watch them. It's my one complaint.
I agree with that.
I actually can't remember a time that I've watched an Iowa game and have not rooted for them. Like they've never played anybody that I've been like, damn, I want the other team to win. Yeah. They're just a good, wholesome group of guys.
How can you not? And the best tradition in college football in the beginning of the game, waving to the hospital.
Yeah, that's just unreal.
It's great. Like good dudes all around good Midwestern, just hospitality.
It's so funny that you're a fucking Hawkeyes
It's
fan.
super random, but you know what? Go Hawks.
Hey, we're rolling with go Hawks, baby. But yeah, have you been to a game, like a home game where they waved at people? I've heard it's one of the
When
craziest
I was a
moments ever.
kid, I've been when I was a kid, like growing up, because my dad's side of the family is from Iowa, but not that I remember really. I was like 8 or like 7, like when I went to the game. So
I'd love for them to be a sneak into the old college football playoffs. I think that's what
well, I mean,
America needs.
With Ohio State losing, I mean,
Anything's possible.
if we there's a very good chance that can happen.
I just hope. Do you guys play Ohio State before the end of the year?
Yeah, we will. But they're also in the other side of the Big Ten conference. So
gotcha. You need to just beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah, and then Michigan's low-key good too. So we'll see.
Yeah, you guys got a couple powerhouses in there, but definitely rooting for them up there. But want to talk about something we both experienced this weekend, which I think we had two very different experiences. Although maybe
definitely did.
So we went to separately, two fully different squads. We went to the Bills Dolphins game, which of course fucking Tua gets hurt 3 snaps in, and also I think Raekwon got hurt too. Like every Alabama player on the Dolphins got just battered and bruised. And I was up in the nose. We parked in Timbuktu. I mean, we parked almost in Cuba. We had to walk a mile and a half to get there. We were in the gravel lot. It was a fun walk. You're drinking, you have a case of beer, just walking down the road. It's a good time. It's football. It's Sunday football. You can't complain. But it was the hottest day in South Florida I've ever experienced. And it varies a little bit from you because, tell us about how you arrived.
Yeah. So, okay. First off, on that same token, we kind of got boned as well. Bought a parking pass for like $150. Yikes. Turns out didn't even need to use it. Pulled into the yellow lot like it was nothing. Not even that far from the stadium, free parking. And I was like, okay, well that sucks. But we brought a grill, fired up a tailgate, had cornhole. Really went after it. So we weren't really around any like Bills Mafia or anything like that. We brought a folding table, fully prepared to break it, and did not get the chance to break it. Just definitely not the environment around us. It was more of like a family type of tailgate setting. It was okay. But then, we had unreal seats on the 50-yard line, and really enjoyed it, honestly. We had the club level seats. So, bougie.
There you go. And I was wondering if you were going to be in the one patch, because Hard Rock Stadium, which I'm falling in love with and knew I'd love, has
unreal.
Obviously a cutout at the top. Well, maybe not obviously, but the middle of it is cut out for like over the field. But when the sun kind of comes down, it can get into like the expensive seats. It can be right in your face, like on the 50, I guess away side. So but whatever. And
you're talking about like the super nice seats on the home side that have like the super nice chairs.
No. I'm talking about the sun comes down on like it's on the way side. It's on the side you are sitting on, but the sun comes through, and then it's just like the first like 10 rows in that rectangle just get fucking body
torched.
Yeah. And so I was curious to see if you were there, and you show up in I was repping Bills Mafia because Sean's a Bills fan. This guy shows up in one of the wildest outfits I've ever seen.
So listen to this. I'm wearing the new Packers throwback Jaire Alexander jersey with a straw Packers hat, clearly targeted Instagram ad that just got me. And I'm walking around the stadium, and people are just coming up to me, like both Bills and Dolphins fans, just like, you're at the wrong game. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, nope, I'm not. Like, fuck you. And they're just like giving me so much shit. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. Packers are better than both of your teams, so let's go. I'm cool with it. And not only that, though, I was with a crew of somebody wearing a John Elway jersey, and then 2 of our other friends didn't have any football jerseys to wear. So inevitably, I was like, here, take my LaDainian Tomlinson jersey and take my Chris Johnson jersey for you guys to wear to the game. So we're walking around Island of Misfit Toys in Hard Rock Stadium, and everyone's like, yo, what are you guys doing? We're just like, whatever. We're going to the game.
Yeah, I saw your Snapchats after the fact, and the champagne bottle sabering that just
Oh
exploded was
God.
electric. If you don't know what sabering is, it's where you basically you're supposed to get like normally a sword or saber, hence the
Yeah.
name, and then you slide it up the seam of a champagne bottle, and it
You could just take a
eloquently.
spatula and just stab the middle of it and expect it to do the same thing.
Is that
I
what it
mean,
was? A spatula?
literally the same spatula that we were just flipping burgers with. So like also hot at the same time. And you're just like, oh yeah, this will work.
The face of
But hey,
confusion when it's just like your
unreal
path
content though. Unreal
content.
content.
Do it for the content, if anything. But when I saw his face, was he wearing the LA jersey?
Yeah, he's wearing the
Yeah,
John Elway
yeah.
jersey.
He just kind of looks up, and you just zoom in on his face. He's just like, you could have showed
Ah.
him the center of the universe, and he would have been less confused. He was like, "What?" Had
Well,
no
here, do
idea.
you want to know the part that I didn't get? The part that he of him drinking it after with just shards of glass in it.
Oh, oh my god, what an animal!
Beast.
I'm just pissed that you. I'll tell you what. I thought we were going to be kind of outnumbered. Obviously, we were in the cheap seats, so we were kind of where the Bills were at, which made some of the best friends of my life. And
I bet.
I'm being a Bills fan at a Bills game is something almost biblical. I mean, people walk up to you, and people don't really chirp Bills fan. Like you can't chirp Bills Mafia. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's like
don't be
they're
that guy.
diehard fans. Like they love their team and they've been through it all. They've been through the thick of it. And
Right. It's
so
like,
it's like good for them, honestly.
it is. And it's a respect thing. That's why I was rocking it. I wanted to have some Tua gear on, but fuck it. I was with Sean and his fam. But yeah, it's
It's
like you
probably a
can't.
good idea for you to not wear that either, especially that game.
Yeah. I was worried. It looked bad. I was like, dude, tell me I'm not here for Tua's first game. I was there for Tua's first game and I'm there for his last. That would
It
have been
was
a kick in the fucking dick the first time I see him in
Hmm.
the pros.
I think that came out today that he fractured it, like officially fractured his ribs. I know
I
they were
thought it
saying
was
that
I thought it came back better than expected.
it did it first, and then I think today they were like, yeah, he fractured him. They found like
Fuck.
some type of fracture. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's tough. Like that sucks.
It happens. Thank God I'm not a Dolphins fan too, or else I'd be crushed. My buddy who just
Yeah,
spent $1,000 on Tua rookie cards, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for
those to
those
really
to
catch fire,
yeah,
if ever.
those to kick it. But dude, so we're sitting up in the cheap seats, and I've never seen this happen, especially not with a Bills Mafia member. We're standing up, and me and Sean are pretty tall guys, and we just hear somebody yelling from like the really cheap seats, like "Sit down, blah blah, blah. I'm trying to watch the game," and it's fourth down. Their Bills are about to score, and we turn around, and it's fucking Santa Claus in a Bills jersey, and Sean's like, dude, who was yelling
Hey,
that? And he's like, sit down. And he's like, you were yelling that? He goes, dude, same team, same team. And he goes, same team, sit the fuck down. And Sean's like, what did you just say? Same team. And so then all of these Bills fans just in a circle kind of just turn around on him and are just like, what the fuck are you doing? I lost my mind. I was yelling at him. I was just like, I've
was he
never
like
seen.
right directly behind you? Like, was he
Yeah, he
directly behind you?
no, he wasn't like the exact row. He was, I'd say, 4 rows up,
What?
which which when you're up in the 300 level, it's a
Yeah.
vertical drop. So he was basically 30 feet above us. And
Damn.
I'd never seen that. I've never seen that at any game I've ever been to where the same team is barking at each other, especially the Bills after flying down from Buffalo to Miami. And you're going to yell at another guy for standing up.
In a Santa suit?
No, he wasn't in a Santa suit. He
I just looked like I
he
was like,
looked
if he's
like
wearing
it.
a Bills Mafia Santa suit and he's telling you guys to sit down, like this guy sucks.
This guy is the worst human being on earth. But it was just funny. The Bills fans love you guys. I feel like an honorary member of Bills Mafia. Not the best looking crew I've ever seen. I'm gonna have to say.
Oh no. They're a raggedy bunch, but hey, do they love football and their team?
And that's all you can ask for. But it's just funny seeing, Miami fans in their crop top, like tan skin, and it's just like dirty buffalo sweatpants, like those furry sweatpants that the girl in PE never did the mile in, the Cookie Monster ones, but buffalo. And then you just have the Miami supermodel with her tatted up boyfriend just walking in the same direction.
It's like same, but different.
Yeah, same, but different name. 2 players on the team. But either way,
good game.
Super good game.
Well,
was that the first time you'd been in that stadium?
I'd been a couple times. So like I'd been to a Dolphins game last year, and then I'd also been to a soccer game there actually. I think it was Manchester United against Chelsea actually.
Oh shit! Game. That's like a big game.
Oh, it's huge, and so I've been to Hard Rock Stadium a couple times. Super nice, like unreal.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as nice as it was because I know it's been around for a minute. I think they changed the name to Hard Rock.
Well, so it used to be the Orange Bowl. That was like the stadium. Yeah.
That was the Orange Bowl?
Yeah, like that was like what it was called when it was, because it used to be Miami Stadium as well as like the Dolphins, and they like did a whole restructure of it. And yeah.
Damn. Okay, that's pretty bad. That makes it even cooler. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that stadium. I also love how it's not, if you don't know, which I didn't know before moving down here, you think it's in Miami. It's really not. It's closer to Fort Lauderdale, I'd say. Like almost maybe almost dead center in the middle.
It's in Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, it's in Fort Lauderdale.
Like I can see it from, you go up to the 25th floor, I could see it from my building. It's fantastic. And I'm just so happy football's back. I feel like after everything that happened with, COVID and all that shit, having fans back, I feel like I was sitting at the bar last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, everyone's smiling, you're chirping each other, whatever. But it's like, everyone waited for this moment to be sitting at bars, yelling for your team, crying because you lost, happy because you won. And now you're just like, we're back. Like, I feel like everyone took a breath, 3 weeks ago, and now it's back to normal.
Also, just being in a game atmosphere, like an actual stadium, like a packed crowd, like that was unreal. It was so electric.
It was. And we watched I've never seen, I was talking, of course, Sean was elated. But I've never seen a NFL football game with that score, even anywhere near it. I mean, that's a college football score.
It was Jacoby Brissett.
Dude, you're telling me after he screwed us on.
But I mean, also the Dolphins' offensive line is just garbage.
Which, how do you invest in a franchise quarterback and then not get the Dolphins?
Yeah, I don't know how you don't have an offensive line when you spend that much money and a first round pick on a stud like Tua, and then you just can't, like, that just doesn't make sense. It's the same type of situation with the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Like, they had the opportunity to take Penei Sewell for the Detroit Lions, like, offensive lineman, but instead took Jamar Chase. And this is right after last year Joe Burrow tore his ACL. It's like, you're not going to try and protect, you're not going to try and protect like this asset that you just invested a ton of money in. Like, you're just going to get him another weapon. Like, what is that going to do to make sure that he stays healthy and stays on the field?
I know. After literally blew out every ligament, whatever muscle in his knee, and then you're going to be like, oh, let's get him a wide out. It's like, what are we doing here?
I get it, because like they played together, but at the same time, it's like, come on, like you gotta invest in this guy.
I agree. Well, we'll end it off with this. So the reason Shane's on here, obviously, he's been one of my best friends for my entire life, but we'll keep things a little bit under wraps, though. You'll be seeing a lot more of Shane all around, all the content that we're making, a lot more videos coming soon. Trust me, I know I've been saying that for months, but it's hard to get the logistics behind it, but I think we're finally getting some pieces in play. And so you'll be seeing a lot more of Shane here pretty soon through all the avenues. And I appreciate you coming on. I fucking could use your expertise in the radio podcasting world, and
man.
A lot more to come. So everyone look out for it. Make sure you share. Again, this has been episode 66 of the Idols to Rivals podcast. Video version is on YouTube. Just Google Idols to Rivals. You'll see our beautiful faces. And if not, if you're driving your car down the highway, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you got. Appreciate everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week.